listeners. Do you tweet? So do we. So tweet with us 24/7 at the Sports Fix CLE.
Business owners and professionals, do you want to take your business, your product, your team, your event to the next level? You want to advertise right here with the Sports Fix. Our listeners are among the most loyal listeners, terrestrial or internet. The Sports Fix universe is not only the radio show, but tens of thousands of fans on Facebook and Twitter. Email me, Jerry Myers, thesportsfix at AOL.com. That's thesportsfix at AOL.com. And let me help you swing for the fences and hit it out of the park right here on the Sports Fix.
Portions of the Sports Fix brought to you by Harry Buffalo. Harry Buffalo, join the herd.
Good morning, I'm Bob Picozzi. They began as the new Cleveland Browns in 1999, and for the first time, they've won 6 of their first 9 games. In Cincinnati, Cleveland clocked the Bengals 24-3. First-year coach Mike Pettine's Browns forced 4 turnovers.
We know the history's out there, but we can't let that affect us one way or the other. To me, we're playing well. I mean, and to me, the players have bought into what we're selling as a staff, and you can see that shows up. This is a tight team, and they care about each other. And it shows on the field.
For the AFC North lead, a half game ahead of Cincinnati. A group of government and civic leaders from San Antonio will visit Oakland today in their continuing effort to convince the Raiders to move to their city. When they signed LeBron James for a second tour and duty, a 1-3 start is hardly what the Cavaliers had in mind. Cleveland tries to avoid a Eastern on ESPN. Preceded by Memphis at Oklahoma City at 8 Eastern. The agent for Giants third baseman Pablo Sandoval tells the San Francisco Chronicle his client is seeking a 6-year free agent contract.
When you're on the road cheering on your favorite football team, you need a comfortable room to come back to. With nearly 2,000 hotel locations, Hampton has free hot breakfast and free Wi-Fi to help you keep up with your team. Book now at Hampton.com.
You're listening to the Sports Fix.
Oh my God, it's him. Crank it, Jerry.
Welcome back to the Sports Fix live on the Sports Fix Radio Network. Hour 2 kicking off. Does my man JK bring the bacon or what? I love talking to him. You know what, too? It's like that approval point where it's okay now. For some of you that have been on the fence, I know people actually tell me that. Like, he is their gauge to when it's okay to start buying in. And so there you go, man. He's buying in as well. A lot of fun. JK, great time. Of course, he's with us 99% of the Fridays here during the year here on the Sports Fix. My man's been with us for years, and I say it all the time. It's not just because he's on the show. It just worked out that way later on down the line that he turned out to be somebody that wrote. I'm telling you, early thinking for Christmas, I'm just putting it out there. Sundays in the Pound. If you've got a Browns fan, Cardiac Kids as well, both. Great, because it's 2 different really classic eras. The book on those 1980 Cardiac Kids season, fantastic. Sundays in the Pound hits those 80s Browns, man. And since I lived through it, I tell them all the time, it's one of the few books that really you feel like you just jump into the pages of it, you know, and you flip the page wanting it to be different because you know how real life turned out, and you keep going, man, damn, Biner still fumbled the ball. But it's a great book. And then, of course, he wrote, he's not even paying me for this, just so you know. He wrote the Browns Bible, which is truly the complete history. Thing's a beast right there. A couple of you guys have bought it or won it here on the show. You know what I'm talking about. But always a great time. He's with us here every Friday, so make sure you guys are with us. Of course, you already know that, though. Welcome back. J-Rock with you here. Mike Brandenberry from oh, goodness. You guys in the chat room are nuts. Mike Brandenberry from DidTheTribeWinLastNight.com. He'll be joining us here in hour 2. Matter of fact, just a few moments from now. He wants to talk Browns. He said, hey, man, I'm in. I'm Mike Aviles. I'm the utility guy. I want in on this conversation, too. He wants to talk a little Cavs, talk a little Tribe, some Silver Sluggers, maybe one more trophy coming home with the Indians. Ryan Ruiz of Dog Pound Nation going to be with us here to get back to talking some Browns. So a lot more still to come in hour 2. Cavs preview, Buckeyes, look at the rest of the NFL games this weekend, and so much more. Oh, you guys are ridiculous in the chat room, which, by the way, the chat room I refer to can be found on Mixlr.com, Mixlr.com. Welcome in as well, you guys listening across the network. Hit us up, Facebook.com/TheSportsFix. Tweet with us at TheSportsFixCLE. Email us, TheSportsFix@AOL.com. Before I get Mike Brandenberry on with us, I want you on. Let's kick off Hour 2, just like we did with Hour 1. Go to you guys, direct the first phone call of the Sports Fix. Caller, you're live on the show.
Morning, J-Rock.
Good morning. This is my man, Bruce. What's up, buddy?
Not much. I just wanted to call and tell you that I'm not quite ready to jump on the bandwagon yet, but I can't find anything bad to write about them either, so
of course,
I'm
you
kind of like in the middle here.
Yeah, I hear you. I know that's a tough one for you, too. I know, but, I mean, really, last night was definitely not the way. Even the people, I think, well, except LG, I got to give it to him or he'll call me back. Might beat me up. I don't want nothing to do with that. Anybody else didn't really see the beatdown coming that the Browns did last night. Contrary
I don't think anybody's seen that happen.
Jeremy Hill's opinion, it was a beatdown nonetheless. And, man, the Browns went to work, man. And I'll tell you, I know you, and I know where your connection. It's like a lot of the people that listen. The connection breaks with the Browns, and I understand that, man. But, that's why some of that stuff JK and I were talking about there, it's true. It needs to happen. You've got to not just bridge, well, this is the best since they came back, because there hasn't been a whole lot since they came back. So that's like saying it's the best of the bad. You want to start getting into the conversations we're having now. This is the best it's been. This is the first time they've done this since the real Browns. And I'm sorry, no disrespect to anybody that's played since 99. I know a lot of guys have worked really hard for the Browns, and I'm not saying everybody was bad. There was a lot of good players that worked really hard here, but bad football, fake football, exhibition football. This was not Cleveland Browns football that the NFL gave us back, and I think we all know that. So that's what makes it a little bit better when you look at that, because now you're going, okay, they're not just getting there compared to the old bad Browns teams. They're getting there compared to the real Browns teams, which you hope is true, because I know that even you, that's where your connection breaks with the Browns, because you were a Browns fan, dude. The real Browns, am I wrong? That's where you lose it.
Right, exactly. I don't feel that the team has been anywhere near NFL caliber since they've been back.
And I can't argue with a lot of that. Nobody can argue with a lot of that. 4 wins, 5 wins, 6 wins will do that to you every year.
20 quarterbacks, 8 coaches. Come on.
It.
Is this the way you run a franchise?
Bruce, just because you and I don't see eye to eye a lot of times on things with the Browns does not mean I don't 100% agree with that. I mean, the NFL did the city of Cleveland a disservice. They wrapped it up in a pretty package and made it look like they were doing us a favor, but they really did Cleveland a hell of a disservice, But, I mean, we can do this till the cows come home. I mean, they should have made him wait for the exhibition or the expansion team and left the other team here. But anyways, it's done and over with, and literally those things are buried in the ground and figuratively.
And hopefully they're far behind us, because the way they played last night, I mean, that was not the Browns that we're used to seeing.
No, let's do it.
I mean, they came out, it wasn't even 11 minutes into the game, and they had already scored.
Now, I'm going to say this, and I know some of you guys will say, well, you're just saying this now because the Browns won big. It was late first quarter, early second quarter. I started texting some friends of mine and telling them that was going to be a blowout at the end of the game. And I even had a couple people say, hey, don't jump the gun. I said, no, you could see it in the first, like you said, 8, 10, 12 minutes of the game. Cincy did not come to play, and the Browns did. Honestly, I said, wow, the Browns are going to roll. I didn't know what the actual score separation was going to be, but I knew that the Browns were in control of that game late in the first quarter. You could just tell Cincinnati did not come to play, and the Browns did come to play.
Well, it's needless to say that I did not have the Browns on the winning end of this, but, that's just, my nature. But
absolutely.
But the thing of it was Hoyer even rushed out of the pocket last night?
Not much that I remember. Not any times that I can think of.
I know he wasn't knocked down at all.
They kept him clean, that offensive line. And you know what? I said 2, 3, 4 weeks at minimum is what it's going to take that team offensively, the line, to get to know each other again with a new guy. It's never going to be as good as it was with Mac, but you're not even going to be as good as it can be with McDonald for probably close to a month. And now we're just now getting into that third and fourth game where this 5 has all been in the same spot. So they should start getting a little bit better. I was surprised that they were that much better last night.
Okay, did you happen to notice McDonald last night when he was snapping? He never put his head down. His head was up the whole time. He was after he snapped it, he was ready to go.
You know what? One play, he did get beat early, and I thought he did a good job of recovering. Now I just popped in my head looking at my game notes. The play which was a very dangerous one early on in the game when Geno Atkins blew through literally on the snap.
Untouched.
He was behind. If he was smart, and I don't think he realized it, when he watches the tape, he'll see what he did wrong. If he'd have stopped for a half of a second behind Hoyer,
he could have got the snap.
Yeah, easily. He could have stripped the ball without Hoyer even knowing it. He literally walked into the tackle because he was a half a step behind Hoyer on the fake. The Browns dodged a bullet on that one there, but other than that, it looked like they changed a little bit there. That didn't happen again. But, yeah, that is the one time that I do remember him being gotten to there. And that one was scary because I'm like, man, when you see Hoyer drop back, it's like he's got a shadow right behind him, and it's the guy. I'm like, wow, that could have been dangerous because if he had just swum over the arm, he would have easily got the fumble there. So the Browns got lucky, and then really no pressure after that. You're right. So
no, there was nothing.
It's getting better. He's getting better at this as they get time together. I mean, he's not going to be Alex Mack, but he can be a serviceable NFL center.
Okay, now you know how we've been talking, or you've been talking with your guest about play manager or whatever he was. You guys were calling him
game manager, yeah.
Right. Okay. Last night kind of proved my point about how Hoyer has taken over the team. When he told Wes to quit posing for the camera.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that showed, that he was, I'm the leader of this team, and cut out the, cut out the bull,
And I'm glad you caught that because it ticked me off. He got those couple of first downs early, and both times he got up and I don't like when guys do the first down thing. To me, that's like celebrating a tackle.
Was Greg Little all over again, wasn't it?
That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get the tackle. You're supposed to get the first down. Now, you want to celebrate a touchdown. You want to celebrate a big play. I'm with it. But when you converted a 3rd and 2, I don't know that you got to get up and pose. So, yeah, I was glad to see Hoyer do that, too. It's like, hey, Number 1, we haven't been here before. Number 2, you just got here, so you haven't been here before. So let's go win a football game before we start posing. So I was glad to see that. But you're right. That's leadership.
Yeah, I was glad to see West after the game when he said, Brian told me to quit posing for the camera, and if I wanted my picture taken, he'll take it for me. And I thought that was like,
exactly.
It was a little humor, but it's just the way that the guys are now. It's not like they're everybody is on the same page for once.
Absolutely, Bruce, my man. I hate to cut you short. I got Mike Brandenburg coming on in a few minutes. Anything else before we go?
I'm good.
My man, and I know that was hard for you too to make that call. But you know what? That's the thing. That's what happens.
Believe me, it was even tougher writing my rant this morning.
I saw you this morning. You're like, what else? I want something bad to say. I don't have anything. What am I supposed to do? And that's what happens when people start breaking the cycle. And now you got to continue that. Next goal. 4 games over 500. Can you make it 6 out of 7? You know what I mean? So we'll talk about some more.
I had a good dinner last night. I got to eat crow with a little bit of humble pie at the end. So,
Bruce, I love it. Thanks for the call, my man. Speaking of crow, they found the crow last night. The crow indeed landed in Cincinnati with the team and helped out as well. Bruce, great phone call. Going right back to the phones. Mike Brandenburg from DidTheTribeWinLastNight.com. Mike, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing good, J-Rock. It sounds to me like you guys are talking about some kind of tackle football team that has some kind of success. Is that in the papers or anything? I can pick up some news on that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the first, second, third page of the front page, they got their own section. They got the front page of the sports. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you'll see a note or two. But yeah, I know I was texting you during the breaks here, setting things up. You're like, hey, man, I'm Mike Aviles, baby. We can talk Browns, Cavs. Let me get in on a little bit of everything. So I don't